I am incredibly exhausted, I am super tired after the last 48 hours, but I am still alive. And this is how Corriere dello Sport is opening their front page today with Juve ancora viva, Juve still alive. How I feel, and I believe how all the Juventini of the world are feeling at the moment, because we are alive in Serie A with the 15 points that were given back to Juve yesterday off the field for Serie A, but also still alive in Europa League, where Juventus received the keys to go to the semi-final. Attenzione, because when you're opening Gazzetta dello Sport, and you know that I'm not a big fan of Gazzetta dello Sport, they open not with the performance of yesterday, not with the draw versus Sporting that is qualifying us to go through, but they're opening with what happened off the field, with a title that is painful, but is correct. Juve, I 15 punti tornano, the 15 points are coming back, open bracket and closing bracket with per ora for now. And this is why yesterday during the live, when I read immediately in Italian what was the verdict, I didn't celebrate, because I saw a lot of Juventini and a lot of people that are taking care of football that are not really aware of what is happening. Yesterday, when they saw that Juventus made a jump from the 7th place in Serie A to the 3rd one, they were all jumping in the air, celebrating, we got our 15 points back. And no, because Gazzetta dello Sport that you like or you don't like, they are correct here, per ora. For now, and we will give you some details towards the second part in the video. So if you want to know about it and you can't wait, skip immediately and go there. If you want to know about the really horrible performance of yesterday for Sporting, remain here. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I assume, and I'm sure about it, that you already put a maximum of like. I'm sure that if you are new to the channel, you subscribed. Now we go with the other pages, with Tutto Sport. La Juve resiste e gode. Juventus is resisting and enjoying. And probably I have to do a mea culpa, my fault, my bad. Yesterday, immediately after the game, in post-game live, I didn't celebrate enough. And this is one of the basic rules that I have. I need to celebrate if we win games, and I need to continue to celebrate, especially if we go in a semi-final. The last time that we went in a European semi-final, it was in 2016-17, 6 years ago, and it's not easy that everyone goes into the semi-final. But also, I needed to celebrate more for one thing. I don't know if you noticed, but in the stands of Sporting, there were some supporters, one especially, you can see it here on the picture, with a scarf. And you can read what is written there. I don't think you need some translation. But look also to the left and the right part, if you need to press pause, look left and right how they transform the logo. Guys, I don't remember, and I know a bit about history of football, I don't remember a big history rivalry between the Bianconeri and the one that are wearing the white and green anyway. I don't understand it. If I have to be welcomed like that, I am happy that the semifinals are between Roma, Leverkusen, and that's something for later, but now Juventus against Sevilla with the first game in our home on the 11th of May. Sevilla, and we are immediately thinking about Il Principino Claudio Marchisio, also Mandzukic, also Leonardo Bonucci with the last game that we played in their home against them, winning 3-1, and I hope that we can see these scenes again with Claudio Marchisio putting the hand on the chest saying, "Sì, siamo la Juve, we are happy, we are Juventus, and we go through." That's what I want, because I really want to go to the final of the Europa League. Now, let's go back to how we reached that semi-final. Well, Allegri urla e sofferenza. Allegri is screaming, yelling, and suffering. But now we have to think about Napoli. On Sunday, we have to consolidate that 4th spot in Serie A. Of course, yesterday was absolutely not a beautiful game. It was a disaster, awful, horrible performance from Juventus, but we go through and we can be happy about it. He said it was actually a beautiful Thursday. First, we received back our 15 points, then we qualified to the semi-final. We can be happy. But I believe that all of us, Juventini, are finding themselves a bit more in this picture. Like Allegri, we were going crazy yesterday, especially in the last 20 minutes of the game. We're Sporting with the goal open. They are missing twice the target. Luckily, they saved ourselves. This time it was not Perin. This time it was not Chesney. This time it was Sporting that was really missing goals that were done. And luckily, because this is also why we are going through. Look at the momentum of the game. In black, Juventus. In green, Sporting. Well, Do I need to say more? Do I need to explain more? If you want to have my opinion about the game, go back to yesterday, the live. It's a long live, I know, with a lot of story towards the end, but go back and you will understand. But I don't think that we need to be here today to analyze it. Look at the performance of the individuals. The best one, Bremer, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, and also Quadrado. He received a 6 there. So they are saying that Danilo was better. I totally don't agree with that. I think that Danilo did a really disaster performance. Not the worst one, but he was really, really bad. Not only him, the worst one, Dusan Vlahovic. Do we agree that Dusan Vlahovic was the worst one? I think yes, because if you have Adrien Rabiot that becomes one of your top scorers of the team with already 11 goals scored in all competition, guys, there is a problem. Good! Obviously for Rabiot, luckily that after that committed a penalty and then he totally disappeared of the game, so not a great performance of our French midfielder, but 11 goals, that's a lot. Problem is that Dusan Vlahovic, it's not scoring, and that's a problem. And then I saw some heat maps, and I saw some Juventini starting again that debate for Vlahovic, the pro-Vlahovic, that everything is the fault of Allegri and the way of playing. And they are showing some heat maps where you see the average position of Dusan Vlahovic. Average position also means where he's touching the ball. And then you have the pro-Juventus, or the team, Allegri, that are saying, no, it's the fault of Dusan Vlahovic. As I always told you, attenzione guys, because we are going towards a 50-50. Yes, we don't serve enough to Dusan Vlahovic, but yesterday he had his attempts. He had the possibility to go on target 3 times. Quadrado, do you remember? Miretti, do you remember? And then you will tell me, yeah, but the cross from Quadrado was difficult to score. Yes, but the movement of a player, like he scored last season, when he was in total confidence, he was able to do that step back and go in front. He knew how to do the movement or changing foot when he needed. Some things that are totally missing. Just a small story. I heard a podcast where Alessandro Matri, ex-Milan, ex-Fiorentina, ex-Juve player, was speaking, and he said, at a certain moment when I was at Fiorentina, I had a really difficult moment, especially mentally. And I tell you, Alessandro Matri, I quote, he was saying, at certain moments during the game, I was hoping that the ball was not coming to me. I was hoping that I had no attempts in that game because I was really scared to score. Is this something that is happening to also an ex-Fiorentina like Dusan Vlahovic, being scared that these balls are arriving to him? Because if they arrive, he's scared that he's flopping. Hopefully not. Then, if you are defending a bit the game, that was disaster. Look at Erling Haaland, that also in the game against Bayern Munich, he was also having more or less the same position as Dusan Vlahovic. The difference is that the guy is in a super confident moment. He's there, and when the ball is arriving to him, 1, 2, 3, whatever, he's going and he's scoring them. Tap in, not tap in, fantastic goals, whatever. And this is the thing, the mental condition of Vlahovic, we need to rescue him. Not with controls or whatever, we need to make sure that he is scoring. Otherwise, we have a big problem because we have a lot of games. At the moment, calculating it, 7 games in May. And hopefully we can even increase it, arriving to the final of Coppa Italia, arriving to the final of Europa League. That means 9 more games in the month of May. Gazzetta dello Sport, and now we are going towards the second topic. Vittoria a metà, half win of Juve, half win because yesterday we drew, but we go through, but also in the aula, in the court, where Juventus at the moment in the ranking, you clearly see we have our 15 points back, we are third, 59 points, which is great in a way because you have already 6 points gap towards the 5th one, that is Milan, 6th is Inter, so you are having a gap there, which is quite comfortable, even if that gap can be closed already on Sunday against Napoli, because if you lose, like the prediction are saying, because our game is a disaster and Napoli is playing much, much better, well, it can be starting to be really difficult, and that's why we have to focus on winning also in Serie A and not thinking only about Europa League. But the points are temporarily, they are not there forever, and that's the problem. Even if yesterday Calvo said to the microphones, we are confident that we want to keep our 15 points, we want them to stay there now forever, and that we close that, well, the decision has not been made to give the 15 points for Juventus forever. If you're looking at Lega Serie A ranking, you see that they are still putting that small star that is saying at the moment. What has been decided yesterday? They are saying, yes, it's true, the 15 points, probably we gave them, or we took them away a bit too harsh, a bit too fast. There are some irregularities in what we said. That's what they are saying. We don't know yet all the explanations. We will discover them in the next few days. But this is what they said in front of microphones. So we need to review them. So instead of keeping them, confirming them, instead of canceling them, we are going to the Aula, and actually now to the Federal Court of Appeal. They will have 30 days, so 1 month, to reformulate. And apparently the rumors are saying that they want to go still with a deduction of points, because they are maintaining that Juventus did some fraudulent things. So they are looking to a way to still take back some points. It can be like the initial request of Kine -9, it can be a -6, it can be a -5, but the big problem here is that Juventus is asking for an explanation. How do you calculate them, and why do we receive these points away from us? We need to understand why, and that's what they will try to do. So I am not today confident that we will receive all our points back, that the ranking will be this one at the end of the season, for our performance that are bad, but also from off the field. The problem is that we are faking an alternated Serie A. Tiago Pinto from Roma is really also saying, guys, we were third for 3 months, or we were in that top 4 for 3 months. We were there, and now we are changing again, and we are out. So it has an impact not only on Juventus, but also on the other teams. So it's really a fake Serie A this year, except of Napoli that is there first, and they have no risk of losing it. For all the other ones, it's also alternating. But for Juventus, even more, because we still don't know. We played at the moment in Serie A 12 games without knowing where we were and who were our opponents. Was it really Milan, Roma, Inter, Atalanta, Lazio, or was it the other ones? Venezia, Verona, Sampdoria, whatever team there, Salernitana, the one of relegation. We don't know. And at the moment, even if we receive them back and the ranking is looking a bit better, we still don't know. And we even know here the rumors that are saying that the punishment could potentially even be for next season, that this season everything stay as it is, but that next season you can be penalized. We don't know, there are rumors. So instead of punishing Juventus for something that we still don't know really why we were punished, well, for only 1 season, we will be double punished. This season, that was really awful for on and off the field, but maybe even next season. And that's why, at the moment, guys, I am absolutely not confident at all. Look, there is one message, and this is Giuseppe that is speaking, the supporter. My feeling is saying, look, they're trying ways to keep us out of European competitions. Champions League or maybe Europa League, I don't know. But that's how it smells. Impactful punishment. These are the words that are used a bit in the journalism. Impactful punishment. For what? I still need to discover it, so I'm really curious to read in the next following days the reasons, and also to see what the Federal Court of Appeal will say about that, regarding that. So we will see. Guys, if you have still some questions, write them down. I will try to guide you through it. It's difficult, but I will try to explain you the most. But one thing is sure, there are a lot of question marks that we have as Juventini, but also Juventus as a club, because they tried to defend themselves the best they could, and they did a fantastic job. Luckily, thanks to them, the 15 points were not confirmed, and case is not closed yet, but we have still a lot of questions. Anyway, we have to do better on the field, and this is the priority, because in a few days we have Napoli. Grazie, forza, Juve.